Hello and welcome to episode 3 of our 6-part series on the vital connection between employee experience and customer or guest experience, and the positive financial impact that any business can realise when they invest in their most valuable asset, their people, their brand ambassadors as we're calling them. So, without further ado, let me welcome back Marie Cross, the UK's Queen of Customer Service, Adrianne Carter, Body Language Expert Extraordinaire, and Julie Wren, Global Health and Wellbeing Coach, Nutritional Therapist and Spa Educator. So last week we looked at the very beneficial link between a great employee experience and a great customer or guest experience. So this week my question to each of you is, how do we turn our brand ambassadors into real gems? That's going the extra mile stars to enhance customer loyalty from all sides.
Oh, I'm going to start with that one because coming from Antwerp, the capital of diamonds, I think I always try to think about this like you get the raw diamond, don't you? Yeah. And then you've already sort of worked out that this is going to be great, but you've got to actually then use the precision to actually do the cutting, the polishing. And I think that's also true of when we have somebody come through and we actually can spot, first of all, that there is this raw talent, but then it's how do you uncover the talent, obviously, first of all, spotting it and then developing it, because the more, obviously, that you know diamonds, the more that you can create those beautiful facets, the brighter they'll shine and they'll just be amazingly catching light and spreading light. So I think when we find our gems, it will be about what is the talent, how can we nurture that talent, how can we bring it out, how can we make it shine to its very best, whether that's through mentoring, whether it's through education, whether that's through support, recognition. I think all of those things go together, but it comes back to the individual. It's being able to identify what is the potential here, and understanding, I think, as well, is why they're here and what is their purpose. And I think, Marie, that you had some great thoughts on that one, didn't you?
Definitely. I think that the brand ambassadors kind of automatically, almost naturally, become gems. You know, they are forever going the extra mile, simply because everything that they're doing day in, day out is so fully aligned with their purpose, their why. It's fulfilling their why. Yes. You know, I always ask the question, well, why did you choose to join this front line? You're working in a customer complaints department. I can't think of anything more depressing day in, day out. Well, because I want to help and serve others. I want to be able to resolve problems for people. What a wonderful reason, what a wonderful purpose for doing that job. So actually, the going the extra mile for individuals who have that purpose, you know, kind of centric to their, you know, to their being, it's easy for them to be doing those small things that can make a very big difference to both their colleagues and their customers or their clients or their guests. It becomes kind of natural for them. I always, when I'm with my clients, I always talk about, you know, like, why are you here, and, you know, what's your purpose? What are you, you know, wanting to get out of the job that you are doing? And then I talk about the story of my sister when the children were young. She worked at a school at lunchtime in the playground as a dinner lady, and she worked with this lady called Pat, who she used to refer to as Ruddy, because this woman spent her entire lunchtime with the children, saying these ruddy children, just moaning and whinging and whining about them the entire lunchtime. And my sister said to her one day, you know, Pat, why are you doing this job? And she said, I've got no idea, I've just got nothing better to do. And she said, my sister, it really affected her, thinking like, how miserable you must be doing a job that's not fulfilling your why, like why you're wanting to be on this planet serving these children. Why would you be doing a job that doesn't fulfill your purpose? And your purpose clearly wasn't that.
But how many people can we think of, or have we seen, that are actually in that role for that reason? Because either they don't know what else to do. And unfortunately, in the world that I operate in, often, when I ask the why, it's either a stepping stone, or it's I don't know what else to do, or it looked like the easy option, or, you know, they're the only employer locally. So sometimes I think we do come across the people who are just there going through the motions, because they have to. So coming back to that, is that do you think there could be an opportunity there to create a gem?
Oh, I think definitely. Well, in fact, I think it's one way or the other, isn't it? We always say, no, Adrianne is exactly the same. When we're building a program of change for our clients, we always say, just you will get some reluctant travellers.
Yes.
You will get a few who come kicking and
Yeah.
screaming,
Yeah.
to the project. But actually, you'll also get some nice surprises of those who perhaps have been around for a very long time, maybe lost their purpose, lost their why many years ago, have been serving on the front line in whatever industry, serving on the front line for so very long. They are just going through the motions. They're on automatic pilot. They're unconsciously competent, and then suddenly this program of training and development is put in place that is focused entirely on them and how we can help maximise their potential in order to enhance their customer or guest experience and therefore their own experience as an employee. And suddenly we have this, it's almost like a rebirth of this individual, this reluctant traveller who now is a gem each and every day.
Wonderful.
And that's my experience is that when we give them the training to help them connect more, so they'll do more, they'll always do more, but when we help them connect more, I'm training them on body language and facial expressions and how to recognise in the customers what they need, it fulfills a part of them,
Of course.
which becomes a very powerful part of them.
Yeah.
And one of the experiences and examples I use is, when I'm training, somebody comes into your area and you're going to seat them, maybe you're in a bar or a restaurant or something, and you say to the person, you've noticed that this person is nervous maybe, so where would you sit them? And everyone always comes back to me and says, oh, well, I'd sit them by the window, or I'd sit them by the bar, or at the back. But actually, when you've recognised that nervousness, the best thing you can do is say, where would you like to sit?
Yes.
Because that empowers the person.
Yes.
And it creates that connection, because that person, if they're comfortable, will stay longer and will spend more money.
Yes.
But what it does for the person who's seated them, who's given that empowerment, they get a really nice feeling that I've done something really good. Because the person is always really grateful that you've recognised. You haven't called out the fact that they're nervous, but you've given them some control back and some power back.
Yeah.
And so by helping team members to be more recognisant of what the people around them need with their colleagues, that gives them a sense of power. So not only do I do more, I connect more.
Yes,
that's true. The connection, very, very powerful.
Yeah, it's so powerful, and it comes back, doesn't it, to what we were talking about in an earlier episode, that this ain't rocket science.
No.
It's small things that we can do, our brand ambassadors can do and be and say that can make a really big difference to their colleagues and customers or guests. It really is not rocket science.
No. And I also remember, you reminded me there of a young woman that I bumped into a while ago, and she'd come through my doors as a young, let's say, we'll call them stagiaires, they're like apprenticeships, apprenticeship, and she'd come through my doors. She'd been in my hands for a while. She found my methods probably quite tough. I was very strict on how people showed up, but she came back to me and she said, you know what, if you hadn't have been that, back then I wouldn't be in the position I am in today, which is a manager. And I feel as well that we've kind of lost a little bit the essence of what a real apprenticeship is.
Yes.
And it is a mentoring, in fact it's a mentoring, isn't it?
Yeah.
And perhaps they're not set up as well as they could be. And that perhaps something, then again, going back to education and looking again, is what are the opportunities we're being offered to create that willingness, and then to help the gems sort of get on their path, because it takes a long time to form a diamond. So you need to keep working and working and working with these people, I think, to bring them to that shining state. Because I think as well, it's like how do we let them know that they're part of something magical? Because when you are in service, you are creating magic at the end of the day. Whatever industry, whether you're solving somebody's problem, whether you're delivering a great meal to the table, you're creating a magic for somebody. And it's knowing that you are the part of that secret spell, that recipe.
It's empowering actually for the person.
Very empowering. Very empowering. And I think that's often, certainly in the projects that we work on, very often I think for the individual, that realisation that, wow, I can make or break a customer relationship here. That's my superpower. I actually am the vital ingredient in my organisation's recipe of success. which I think almost triggers the wanting to be a gem therefore, because they recognise that actually if it's to be, it's up to me.
Yeah.
You know, I can truly make the difference.
And owning it.
Yes.
I think owning it is something, you know, wherever that comes along, is that you've got to own the whole process that you're involved in and know your part in it, whether it worked or it didn't work. But there's always a learning, isn't there?
Yes.
There's always that nugget of learning in every experience,
Definitely.
every contact you have with the guest or a client or a customer. Is it what could I have done differently and got a different outcome?
Yeah.
And perhaps it's also giving people the opportunity to reflect on that.
Yes.
And to have your gems or your ambassadors, you know, think about what could we have done differently as a team, and would that have elevated, or would that have taken a different direction?
I like the word that you say differently there, because sometimes we frame it as what could we have done better. And maybe it wouldn't have been better, but differently. I'm all about creating great relationships. I'm not focusing on what we did wrong. How do we make things different, and we learn from it and we move forward?
Yeah.
Exactly.
As we always say, Adrianne, there is no such thing as failure. You either win or you learn.
Yeah.
And I think that actually,
win or learn.
I think that a true gem, you know, a true brand ambassador, who's, as I say, naturally a gem anyway, will always ask themselves that question after every customer or client or guest interaction.
Yeah.
Okay, what have I won at here, and what is there for me to learn?
Yeah.
What could I do differently next time that could get me an even better outcome, as opposed to what could I do better that would get me a different outcome?
Wow, thank you so much, Marie, Adrianne and Julie. Yet more food for thought about the vital role that an organisation's frontline staff play in the overall customer or guest experience. Now in episode 4, we're going to take a look at the relatively new kid on the business block. That's the power of emotional intelligence in today's AI-driven world, and whether technology really can reign supreme in the field of service excellence, or whether, as we believe, there will always be the need for that human touch and some. In the meantime, feel free to like, share, subscribe, or join our tribe. Marie's, Adrianne's and Julie's details can be found right here, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, take care. Remember to be that purple cow in your field. Bye for now.